Dublin Airport will exceed its 32 million passenger cap in 2024. Kenny Jacobs of the Dublin Airport Authority saying the numbers would be closer to 33 million. For more on this, we're joined by Eoghan Corry, travel expert. Eoghan, are you surprised by this development?
Not at all. It was always, Shane, going to be about next year, about to be the summer. We got this warning about what was going to happen. There was that €500 fare for Christmas stuff at Michael O'Leary. But this is all about the summer of 2025. And that's when we're going to see the real pressure on Dublin Airport.
What will be the reaction politically to this news? You may say it's not a surprise, but you know yourself, when something actually happens, it's a different matter. So now the cap has been breached. What will be the reaction politically, do you think?
I think one of the reasons that Kenny Jacobs has flagged this is that the politicians have been very, very slow to act. This has been a very slow-moving issue, obviously with two big elections in June, and we've another one coming probably before the end of the year. Politicians just didn't want to get involved. The reason they didn't want to get involved was this was all about the M50, 2 lanes on the M50, a barrier that kept going up and down when the planning cap was introduced. But you wouldn't know that from the way the debate has gone in the meantime. Today, it's all about noise, emissions, flight paths, all of those sort of things which weren't around in 2006.
So do you think this will expedite matters in terms of planning? Do you think that politicians, I know they don't make the decisions on planning, but do you think they will bring pressure to bear for decisions to be made quicker?
I'm absolutely certain that that's why Kenny Jacobs has raised it today. If you get the reaction from the politicians, I'm not sure. Obviously, there will be issues with the Minister for Transport is from the Green Party. While he has been very positive and said we live in an island, aviation has to move on. Some of his activists, some of his own members would be feeling that it's time to stop rolling back aviation. The other political parties will also be watching their own membership, their votes, things like that. There is lots of political options. You know, we have an infrastructure designation, for example, for the Dublin seaport, which doesn't apply to the airport. The airport is sort of treated just like anybody else, you or I, going for planning permission. Yeah. And they're the sort of political options that are out there. Whether the politicians will take them up, I'm not sure.
Final question. Kenny Jacobs told Joe that he's comfortable that they took the necessary steps to try and limit the numbers, and he's comfortable legally that even though they've breached the cap, that they won't face any kind of sanctions. Is he right to say that?
Pretty much, we're in unknown territory. This is the equivalent of applying for retention for your planning permission. But in this case, he's actually let everyone know long in advance. This is our policy. This is what we're trying to do. And it has cost Dublin Airport in planning terms. He also made a couple of very important points. Internationally, people are looking at Dublin. They don't understand how 2 lanes in an M50 in 2006 is dictating aviation policy. If the Americans step in, and this could depend on the result of the American election with sanctions. The sanctions they'll start looking for is trying to restrict Ireland's ability to do business in the United States. That's something we don't want to happen. It's something that was threatened against Amsterdam and Schiphol last year.
Eoghan Corry, travel expert.